The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Hey, Trevor, what rhymes with Tom Willander in Abbotsford? Chicken tenders, drive it forward.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, happy Friday and welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks and also a Canucks writer currently with Daily Hive Vancouver. Before we dive into the show, we got to thank you for tuning in to Locked On Canucks because it is your Canucks every day and every night with the postcast, baby. And we're not here without you and you tuning in, and we're also not here without those sponsors. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Kyle, if you asked us a couple of months ago, would Tom Willander play NHL games for the Vancouver Canucks this season? I think the answer would have been a firm yes when you looked at the bottom four and how inept it was earlier in the season. And now, hold the brakes, man. Not so fast, because reports suggest Tom Willander will not play NHL games for the Vancouver Canucks this season. So where are things at with Tom Willander? What are the reports saying? Let's get into that to kick off the show. Of course, we'll talk about the Canucks' luck of late, and it ain't good. More on that on the other side. And I also do want to shout out what happened on this day in Canucks history, along with why the Canucks need more Ratu. All right, let's get to that here. Locked On Canucks. Before we do that, let me introduce my co-host, man. He made it against all odds in the studio. Kyle Bowen, what's going on, brother?
I made it against all odds outside of just the traffic, okay? Come on. I lost $27 for Francesco Aquilini. More on that by the end of the break. Not the end of the break, the end of the show. I'm all over the place. Don't blame me. Blame Francesco. Where's my $27? Anyways, instead of getting mad, the Canucks play tonight, but I don't want to go there just yet. Can we just dream about Tom Willander and the future of this Canucks decor? Because Trevor, with or without him this year, I'm just so excited to have that certain type of stability in my back end, on my back end. So, Trevor, talk about it. What have you learned? What did Thomas Drance teach you? Again, Cam Robinson yesterday saying, "Yo, Tom Willander's going to sign. He's going to play some games." Maybe Cam Robinson had some money on the other team and thought Boston was going to lose. And now we're hearing Drance saying, "Yo, it's most likely going to be Abbotsford." Talk about it, Trevor.
Yeah, so let's get into the reports. And first and foremost, Tom Willander, if and when his Boston University team loses, his season will be done. There's no more losses for this team. Tom Willander and BU yesterday, they shoved up Kyle Bowen's rear end with an 8-3 win over Ohio State, I believe it was who they were playing. They were down early, and they ended up just absolutely breaking things open in the third period, thanks to a goal from Canucks prospect Aiden Celebrini. But what does it all mean for Tom Willander? That's what Canuck fans really care about. And look, now they play Cornell on Saturday. Cornell upset Michigan. So that kind of makes Boston University's pass to the Frozen Four a little easier, although, of course, won't be an easy game on Saturday. But if and when Tom Willander's season ends, the reports are suggesting that he will not play games for the Vancouver Canucks. Now, Kyle, you mentioned it. Cam Robinson did have the tweet yesterday saying that he believes that Tom Willander will play NHL games. And here's the quote from Cam Robinson. It appears the most likely outcome, time permitting, is Willander sees NHL action down the stretch to cash in his signing bonus and have a year burned off of his ELC. That was before Boston University beat Ohio State. After the game, he tweeted out, as Boston University clicks on to the next round, the Willander situation will take more time. At this point, Cam Robinson believes the team is most interested in having him go to the AHL as the big club attempts to push to the playoffs. And of course, talks more about the bonuses in lieu of, burning an ELC and the trade-off between the two. And again, Thomas Drance also reporting the same thing that Cam Robinson was saying in his second tweet of the day there, and that is Tom Willander is more likely to go play in the AHL this season rather than play games with the Vancouver Canucks. And Kyle, for one, I think the sexy thing to do is to bring Tom Willander into the lineup. Okay, dude, he's a good looking kid, man. And look, you want more good looking players on your hockey team, but the Vancouver Canucks defense is also a lot sexier. This D is stiff, man. This is stiff and sturdy. It's not this flimsy, this thick, flimsy D that was there early on the season.
It can move. It can move. It can groove. Like this D could be special, bro. I'm telling you.
And Kyle, I got to say, gone are the days, too, of the Canucks having this, porous, mediocre hockey team where, again, Canucks are in the mushy middle. That's beside the point.
Hold on. Okay, chill out there, Trevor. Chill out there.
Hey, hear me out for a second. We've seen a lot of the times over the years the Vancouver Canucks bring up prospects in the spring from the NCAA because they're either out of the playoffs. But now the race matters. And on top of that, the defense is actually pretty darn good. So is it really worth it to burn a year off of Tom Willander's ELC when you already have DPD and Victor Mancini fighting for minutes for this hockey team, and both guys have played pretty well, all things considered? I'm starting to think that, and again, happier that we're in a better time for Canucks hockey, although the playoffs are still, the odds are a little slim right now. But I think it does make more sense for Tom Willander to go to the AHL and just, get accustomed to top 4 minutes in Abbotsford and help that team with the playoff push right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. If he goes to the AHL, does it not burn a year off his ELC?
No, basically the structure would be he would sign what's called an ATO, an amateur tryout contract, play for the Abbotsford Canucks, and then it wouldn't burn a year off of his ELC.
And does he get paid a little bit of money for that?
Yeah, he'll get paid a little bit of money for that. Again, in terms of the contract negotiations, there would likely be maybe some different incentives in terms of bonuses. So I know Thomas Rance is reporting that, often prospects of Tom Willander's caliber get Schedule B bonuses, which can go up to $2.5 million, although Tom Willander would have to be, defenseman, like rookie defenseman of the year type of thing next season, if that were to happen.
So that's the obvious choice. Like, we don't need to burn an early year off his contract. Like, let him be cheap for three full years. Again, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all into Tom Willander. I think this guy's special. I do. I love the way this guy plays the game. I love his leadership. I love his poise. I think him and Quinn Hughes add maturity into that room, and that's ironic because Tom Willander's like 20 years old. But just listen to this guy speak. The seriousness. Okay, you want hockey addicts being at the top of the pecking order on this team, right? And Quinn Hughes is a hockey addict, and Tom Willander is as well. That all being said, again, there's no point of doing it. No point. We're in a playoff push. We're in a playoff race. You brought up Mancini and DPD too. Like, let them get their experience. And let's manage the cap. Sorry, Tom Willander, but let's manage the cap. You know what I'm saying? So in the long term, we have an extra year of Tom Willander being cheap. Yeah, go to Abbotsford, man. Go to Abbotsford. It's only a 50-minute drive from Vancouver. Maybe 75 minutes with some traffic. I don't know. You can find a nice place in Vancouver. Maybe Francesco can take my $27 and use that towards Tom Willander's rent at a penthouse. But yeah, go play in Abbotsford. Let's not burn that year. That'd be stupid for the Canucks, to be honest. In any other year, I would get it, but now they already have 2 rookie defensemen playing. That's good enough.
Yeah, and rookie defensemen that are looking good too. And let's shout out DPD here quickly for a second. He got back into the lineup against the New York Islanders. And he clocked one of the fastest skating speeds by a defenseman this season. That play on the back check, I think we saw it. It was in the first period, I believe, coming back on the back check. He clocked in at a speed of 23.72 miles per hour. That was the 4th fastest speed by a defenseman this season, the 15th fastest speed by a skater. And I mean, look, DPD as well, in the 82nd percentile in terms of 20 plus mile per hour bursts per 60. I mean, the guy has wheels. He's big, he's physical, and he's only playing in half the team's games right now, man. Like, I do want to see more of DPD in the lineup, and I think it is credit to the way the rest of the defense is playing. Shout out to the Chaos Draft, Tyler Myers. Shout out to Sniper Derek Forward. Shout out to Marcus Pedersen, the new Chris Tanev, shutting things down. And shout out to Valentino Martini. Like, this defense is calm, cool, collected right now. Like you said, Kyle, it's as much as I want to see Tom Willander in the NHL, and it would be, I think, interesting to see him get some potential playoff games too. It's just, you don't need to force this and mess up the cap situation down the road a bit further. Like, just let this defense keep playing right now because it is the strength of the team.
Yeah, dude. And again, like, it's so important for this team to, again, manage the cap. Like, there's no way this guy should be playing right now. And that's a surprise coming from me because again, weeks ago, I'm like, I'm looking forward to it, but I didn't know he could like gain Abbotsford Canucks experience and like get get intertwined with the Canucks organization without burning that contract this year. Like just do it with Abbotsford. Manny Malhotra, they've been doing good things down there. That's good enough for me, man. And more hockey, right? Because in college they play like what, 30 games? 30-something games, 40 games, like that. I just want Tom Willander playing more hockey, and maybe I'm changing my my thought process on all this because I'm actually really impressed with Victor Mancini, man. Valentino Martini, the third, Victorio Mancini, right? I'm telling you right now, this guy starts scoring goals for the Canucks. There's going to be at Elisa, the restaurant Aquilini owns that he bought with my money that he stole from me. There's gonna be a pasta named after Vittorio Mancini. Straight up. And he's good, man. He's good. He's poised. He's giving me confidence. Again, the Canucks are battling the flu bug. Maybe no Teddy Bluger today. Max Sassonin. Like, what the hell is going on? The Abbotsford Canucks taking over the Canucks for real. Straight up. But all in all, there's still that confidence in me, not just because we have Quinn Hughes and we're playing Columbus and like we could still do something. It's like, yo, I like our decor. Like, I like it. There's a base there for them to play this brand of hockey where they can squeak by a much needed victory. So all in all, like our D is fine, Trevor. Like our D is fine. I'm confident in the D. And as always, I tell all the listeners, instill confidence in the D, man, and watch what will happen. Anyone can play 25 minutes a game, 25 minutes a night, maybe 30 minutes a night if you're confident in your D.
Man, I wish I could last 25 to 35 minutes, man.
It's easy, Trevor. It's easy. Just go in the shower, cold water, and let it hit it. And then pray.
Kyle Bowen, the love guru here on Locked On Canucks, man. Unbelievable. Let's see. You alluded to it. Canucks luck in terms of injuries and illnesses, not so great right now. Let's touch on that on the other side. And I do want to get to why Aatu Ratu needs to play a bigger role for this team. And quickly, what's going in the Vittorio Manicotti pasta? I'm thinking spicy sausage, some sun-dried tomatoes, man. Oh, I can't wait to have a Valentino Martini pasta, man. Unbelievable. You're listening to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every damn day. We'll be back on the other side after shouting out our friends over at FanDuel. March Madness is still here, and the NHL playoff race is on. And whatever you bet on, FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and even who's cutting down the nets. Now, the Canucks are once again underdogs tonight against the BJs in Columbus, Ohio. Plus 110 on the money line. If you like the Canucks in this game, even though they got 3 AHLers down the middle, you could place that bet on FanDuel. But whether you're picking the Canucks, betting on other NHL teams, March Madness, whatever it is, make sure you do your sports betting on FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com and get in on the action all year long.
Man, oh man. People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks, all right? And Valentino Martini, Vittorio Mancini, and as what NGK was saying, look at this name, Vincenzo Manicotti. Okay, Manicotti. Okay, I'm sorry. If I'm crossing the line, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I just played a lot of Mario, and I actually watched the Super Mario movie last week. I finished it. Have you watched that with your kids? Yo,
no.
That is up there with The Lion King as like one of my favorite quote unquote children movies of all time. I don't you know what I'm saying? It's so incredible. Speaking of the opposite of incredible, the Canucks luck, man. I will be so pumped up if they win tonight. Again, barring the circumstances, right? Everyone's hurt. They're in a playoff fight. They're 5-1 in their last 7 games, I think, and they're still 5 points out of a playoff spot, 2 games in hand. And now Teddy Bluger may not play today. Max Sasson, who I really like. In fact, I can make the argument that I've probably seen more primetime Max Sasson games this season in the Canucks uniform than Teddy Bluger. Teddy Bluger's been consistent. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, Max Hassan's good. Like when he's on, I like his game. So maybe it's not an upgrade, but not too much of a fall off. All that being said, Trevor, I'm getting sick and tired of all this bullshit, man. Like, dude, I'm getting sick. I feel like I got the flu now with this team. And yeah, it's crazy to say, like, oh my God, how are we going to do this without Teddy Bluger? But Trevor, how are we going to do this without Teddy Bluger?
How are we going to do this without Trevor, man? Look, I mean, here's the one thing, if you want to glass half full stuff going into tonight. And here's another thing too. Thatcher Demko, after playing a great game against the New York Islanders, is slated to have the night off. Kevin Lankinen expected to get the start tonight for your Vancouver Canucks. Hopefully he's feeling better. And look, as good as Demko has been, I don't know if it's the time to roll him all the way through here. I think Lankinen's proven that he can play pretty well when he's had a bit of rest. And here's the other thing too, going into tonight, and it's the same thing every night. Quinn Hughes is the best player on the ice, and Kyle, Quinn Hughes did not have his best game against the New York Islanders. And how often is it that Quinn Hughes, has 2 bad games in a row? I would say almost never. So this is likely one of those nights where I think Quinn Hughes does step the F up for your Vancouver Canucks. He's probably pushing 30 minutes again, and I just think it's going to be a much better game for him and Filip Hronek, as long as those guys are healthy. Because reports are that the flu is starting to kind of rip through this team right now, and just been the craziest season in terms of luck. But this team still has Quinn Hughes, man, and then with Quinn Hughes, anything is possible.
No, 100%. And I just hope that the flu bug isn't hitting him. But even if it is hitting him, expect the Michael Jordan flu game from Quinn Hughes. But aside from all that, like Kevin Lankinen, he deserves this start. I'm glad he's healthy, and I hope he has he has the dog in him, right? The Canucks just signed this guy to 5 years. They need a must-win game. They're in a must-win game, and I know the Canucks have been playing really good. In fact, in their last, I would say in their last 10 periods, I'm going back to that St. Louis game, they've probably played 8 excellent periods. Like, they're working hard considering who they have. Like, they're on a bit of a roll here. But something tells me, and again, I don't know, I don't like this matchup against Columbus. And Columbus needs the points too. They're in a tight playoff race as well. Something tells me that Columbus may be all over us, but something also tells me as well that, Kevin Lankinen steals this team a game. It's been a while. He has the ability. He just got that contract. He's seeing what Demko does. That internal competition is good. And again, Lankinen sees the injuries more than anyone, right? He's the guy looking at it all from the back end. Like, just save us. Ironically, save us. It was Demko who's been saving us. Like, I think Lankinen has it in him to be like getting a 37 save shutout, or the Canucks win 2-1 and he has 39 saves. Like, I feel that energy tonight, because maybe that's just what we need, but also Lankinen kind of owes us that at this point. No, this could be his Canuck moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so good on the road this season, and of course, his numbers have taken a dip since the Four Nations break. Obviously, his save percentage went from a 904 to a 901 on the season after allowing 4 goals and 11 shots against the Rangers. And he's just another guy, too, that, has tended to bounce back after a bad game. If you look at his game log this season, I like the fact that he's gotten the rest. I like the fact that he's coming off of a bad game. I think that's a good bounce back spot for him. Now, Guy alluded to it, the Columbus Blue Jackets might not be the best matchup for the Canucks, but I will say that I don't think it's as dire as it was recently, because a big reason why a team like Columbus, isn't a good match for the Canucks is the fact that the Canucks don't defend well off the rush. But that has gotten better since they've remade the bottom end of this defense, man. I mean, the rear end of this defense, it doesn't look like a gross, hairy mess like my rear end anymore. This is a beautiful rear end the Vancouver Canucks have on their defense, man.
Yeah.
And I think Harm Dial from The Athletic, he pulled some stats on this recently from Natural Stat Trick. The Canucks defense without Quinn Hughes on the ice up until, the Four Nations break was they were completely underwater, like Chicago Blackhawks, San Jose Sharks level of bad when Quinn Hughes wasn't on the ice. Since the Four Nations break, and again, that's with Vittorio Mancini in the lineup, with with Derek Forbort playing a more of an increased role, with Marcus Pettersson here. Now the defense is pretty much break even when Quinn Hughes is not on the ice. And that is a huge, huge benefit to this hockey team, that they can actually move the puck up the ice and defend properly without Quinn Hughes on the ice, because it has been all on Quinn Hughes for the most part this season. This Canucks team still has a struggle to generate offense. We all know that, but they are better in their own end, and they are better in the transition game. And I think they can defend the rush a bit better as well with the current personnel on this team. Dude,
they're missing 3 of their top 4 centers. It's unreal. It's unreal.
The back end, man. It's all but the rear.
No. It always starts in the back end, straight up. It does. You ever seen that South Park episode where they start consuming food from the back end to reverse the science?
The human caterpillar?
It's stupid. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, there's something else I want to bring up too. Lankinen against Columbus. So we went to that game, kind of. We went to the sports bar. Shout out to the Rogers Arena Sports Bar. I don't know if Aquilini owns that as well, but $27. I want a $27 tab. More on that in a couple of minutes. Lankinen was so stellar in that game against Columbus. Don't you remember? Columbus was all over us, and Kevin Lankinen was an absolute stud. We need that performance today. And, dude, I'd be so proud. I'd be so proud, and it sucks that we're 5 points down because I'm going into these games, like, just hanging on to hope and need the win to, like, continue my journey and not retire. I don't want to go 7 points down with, like, 9 games left because St. Louis is just on a run. They cannot lose. All in all, though, Trevor, I need help, man, because I'm thinking about going to the bar tonight. In fact, I brought my dog with me today. To work. Loki's over here. So I don't drive myself to the bar because I don't know if there's any dog bars in Vancouver. So I'm stressed, bro. Come on, bro.
Dude, it's Vancouver. There's lots of dog bars. Not to convince you to drink,
hey,
bro.
Give me the address.
I'll hit you up in the comments after the next segment here. But look, I again with the injuries right now. I mean, you're looking at again Pew, Suter, Atu, Ratu, Max Asana, and Nils Amon down the middle tonight. Like that is a pretty dire straits for your Vancouver Canucks. But yeah, you look at the last game, and I do want to shout out some of the depth players on this team because guys like Kiefer Sherwood, not only did they get 3 points, but they were entering the zone with possession. And Dakota Joshua, Connor Garland, those guys had good games. Drew O'Connor had a great game for the Vancouver Canucks as well. And, those guys aren't necessarily going to step up each and every night, but you hope that at least a couple of them can step up. And look, this is a Columbus team that has, been in dire straits recently themselves. And I know Elvis Merzlikins was gone for a stretch, but they've been in a bit of a tailspin. And look, they were riding high shooting percentages all season long. Again, they're a young, fast team. They're dangerous off the rush, but they're not great at defending either. So it is a must-win game with the Vancouver Canucks, but it is a winnable game. It's not unreasonable to think that they can win this game, even with the lack of depth down the middle. Now, on the other side, I do want to get to one center in particular. That is Atu Ratu, and why I think he needs more ice time. Kyle also wants to tell you why Aquilini scammed him again, man. Aquilini with the scams, unbelievable,
unreal.
And we'll try to get some of your comments as well. You listen to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every damn day. We'll be back on the other side after showing it our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on me again and got me right in the rear end. And if you're feeling lost after losing that hour of sleep earlier this month, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. And I got to say, watching Canucks hockey is draining, man. It's draining. It's emotionally draining. The highs, the lows, the screaming, the yelling. I need that 5 Hour Energy at least once, either before, during, or after the game, before the postcast, to keep me going, baby. So make sure that whatever you need 5 Hour Energy for, whether it's Canucks games, whether it's, staying up late, man, staying up late like Kyle Bowen. You get your 5 Hour Energy. Again, they're at every convenience store. You know the deal. You can find it at any gas station, any convenience store. You can also head over to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, or peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack and have it delivered right to your door. You need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized.
Okay, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Okay, I'm practicing my acting, Trevor. Okay, I'm trying to get into movies, okay? Anyways, Trevor Beggs, Kyle Bowen, doing this, hoping, praying, sending the good vibes, and reading your comments here on Locked On Canucks. Man, oh man, Canucks fan 94 said, Kyle, go to the bar and keep the drinking streak alive. Okay, I've told people I've had 1 to 2 beers. Let me do the math here. Okay, I've had 1 to 2 beers 8 out of the last 14 days. It's because the Canucks are trauma-licious and they're dramatic and they're stressing me out. And Canucks fan 94 sent us $20 Trevor, I'm sorry. I know you got children. I'm taking the $20 here. Okay, they're paying for my 2 drinks tonight. Okay. For the last few games, they were in. Both Pettersson and Besser seem to be finding their game again. Again, this is when Pettersson's in the lineup. But what the Canucks need to succeed next season is a true second-line center that can play with Jake DeBrusk to score goals. Dude, 100%. And we've had this conversation about Hedl and Suter, and actually not even knowing if Hedel's ever going to play hockey again. I don't want the Canucks trading their 2026 first-round pick for a potential center. Like, I'm just scared of doing that. The Canucks have just been too inconsistent regularly for them to make an investment like that. All in all, though, you're not wrong. Trevor, I don't know if you want to answer the question about the center because it's kind of hard to like pick one out of the blue. But can we just talk about Jake DeBrusk? Like, I know he's only getting paid $5.5 million over the next 7 years, and I know he's not that ultimate play driver. But can we just get one game? Because I've seen those games against Toronto. Okay, I've seen Boston and Toronto for years and years and years and years, and Jake DeBrusk is like going coast to coast, looking like a poor man's Connor McDavid. Can we see Jake DeBrusk carry this team? Like, provide that value when we really need him. And I don't know if it's possible, but again, search Jake DeBrusk on YouTube and watch his highlight packages. Like, yo, this guy's lethal when he wants to be, and I want him to be lethal right now.
Yeah, I mean, the Canucks have been playing playoff hockey for a while, and it just doesn't really seem like Jake DeBrusk is playing playoff hockey, right? Which is, it is kind of hard to believe that this guy's just saving his juice for the postseason at this point. Like, Jake DeBrusk kind of is what he is. And look, he's a hard player to criticize because he leads the team in goals. He gets on the score sheet, but he's just not noticeable shift to shift. He's not overly physical. He's not overly fast. He is really just a complimentary player in your lineup. And look, I actually find it hard to believe that Jake DeBrusk has 90 hits this season, which ranks, 5th right now on the Vancouver Canucks. Yeah. But it's not really saying much. I mean, honestly, aside from Kiefer Sherwood and Dakota Joshua, this team is up there in hits. I think they're top 10 in terms of hits this season, but just doesn't feel like they hit a lot of guys. And, Jake DeBrusk, again, he's a guy that I want to see step it up for sure. And look, he's playing on the Canucks top line right now. Like, they kind of need this guy, like DeBrusk, Besser, Suter. I will say this does seem like one of the games where Jake DeBrusk maybe doesn't have the most loud impact, because he never really does, but he just finds a way to score tonight. Actually, I would be, considering betting on a Jake DeBrusk goal, or at least a point tonight. It's fun. I think he finds a way to get on the score sheet.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm not going to say Kiefer Sherwood's about to get paid $5 million a year, but Kiefer Sherwood has just been, in my opinion, better than Jake DeBrusk. Like, I have more confidence in Kiefer Sherwood, who has 6 less goals than Jake DeBrusk, I think. I have way more confidence in him making an impact positively in tonight's game just by himself. Whereas Jake DeBrusk, he needs to be in and around the net, poking goals. And now, again, I'm not completely hating at $5.5 million. Like, you're not looking at Austin Matthews here, right? But again, I've just seen it in the past. He's able to just do his thing and go coast to coast, and we need a little bit of that. There's not a lot of that per season with Jake DeBrusk, or per calendar year with Jake DeBrusk, right? He really saves it for Toronto in the first round, but man, just pretend the Columbus Blue Jackets are the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay, next question. Man, oh man, these comments, man. Look at this one from Jeannie Marie. Okay, Kyle is on my top 10 list of people I'd love to meet the most. This is dude, honestly speaking, like, my girlfriend has never said anything this nice to me. Okay, no, straight up, not my mom too, man. This is nice, and one day we'll all meet. I don't know what you expect. Expect to be new when you do meet me, because I'm just giving you myself right now. Same thing with Trevor. There's nothing new you're gonna see. Maybe you'll find out that I'm 5'1" and Trevor's 6'3", right? But answer the. I don't know. She's not asking the question, or he. I don't know if this is a he or she. But what do you think they'll find out about me, Trevor, when Jeannie Marie finally meets me?
They'll find out that you smell nice. You actually have a very nice scent to you, buddy.
Dude, I never wear cologne, man. It's the Findu smell.
It's your natural scent. You just exude it out of your pores, man.
Well, you know what I do, right? Like, I don't know if do you know anything about Fijian people and Findus?
Just through you.
Okay, I don't know why you're laughing. That's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on there. What's so funny?
Oh, I was just racking my brain, man.
Oh no, we shower. You know why Fiji water is so expensive? Is because in our culture, we believe that we have to shower with Fiji water. And I don't know if you've ever actually drank Fiji water. I know it's like $5.99 at the gas stations, but it's actually the best tasting water.
I agree. No, Fiji water is the best tasting water for sure.
Why though? What's in there? The Pacific Ocean, come on, man. Trevor, that's not a trick question, man. Dude, did you fail social studies? It's straight from the ocean. Straight from the ocean. Most oceans have salt water, not the Fiji water, okay? You scoop it up, put it in the bottle, put the cap on, boom, bam. All right? No preservatives, no microplastics, none of that. All organic water. And we shower in that, and that's how we smell good. Hey, Jeannie Marie, dude, you should give my girlfriend some notes, okay? Maybe she can write me a love poem with something not nice, okay? Next comment. Hey, Trevor, you can pick the next one.
I don't have a comment lined up, but I do want to make this point about Aatu Räty real quick, okay? And then I'll find a comment. But Aatu Räty, again, gets back on the score sheet for the Vancouver Canucks against his former team, the New York Islanders. And I'm thinking that the Vancouver Canucks might want to use Aatu Räty in a bigger role. And obviously, if Teddy Blueger is gone, they'll have to use him in a bigger role tonight, considering that Teddy Blueger is one of the few guys on this team that has a face-off winning percentage above 50%. Teddy Blueger had 50.1% this season in the face-off dot. Among regular centers on this team, the only guy above 50% is Aatu Räty at 57.1%. And I think one area where the Canucks really could use Aatu Räty's face-off abilities is on the power play. There was a stat recently that the Canucks have won 30% of face-offs on the power play over their last 7 games. Their power play in that time is at 15%, which is one of the worst marks in the NHL over that span. For a Canucks team that struggles to score offensively, I think they need a guy like Aatu Räty on the power play. Even if it's a quick bait and switch and you get him off for someone like Pius Suter or whoever, you need to win faceoffs on the power play. That is a crucial time to win faceoffs. I think in general, especially if Teddy Blueger is out tonight, the Canucks got to use Aatu Räty. Trust the defensive instincts. Trust him in the faceoff circle. And again, this guy's got a pretty high ceiling. Just see what he can do. So I'm kind of hoping the Canucks unleash a bit more Aatu Räty tonight.
Wow, and Trevor, that's actually a beautiful thing you just did there, man. You should be proud of yourself because now I'm looking forward to potentially telling myself going into this game that this is the Aatu Räty experience. This is the party. This is who we traded Horvat for. Like, I know everyone talks about Hronek, but we need somebody to step up, right? And it might be Aatu Räty, and that'd be cool. That'd be beautiful. And I believe it. Anyways, next comment. And this is the last one, okay? NGK saying, Kyle is a real G. I'm not trying to talk about myself a lot, but this guy mentioned something important here that I want to get to, okay? Kyle is a real G for putting on the Vancouver music scene. And Trevor is literally the second best dad in the world. I'd love to meet them both. Trevor, man, see this is what happens when you just promote being good neighbors. All right, like I always say, man, you think I'm joking? This is a Deepak Chopra thing. This is I don't know if it's a Deepak Chopra thing or, I don't know, a Shakira thing, but somebody said, take care of your neighbors before you take care of the world. Because, we actually see these people in real life. Like the people you see with your eyes, we all share the same air. Like you really want to capitalize on taking care of one another. Okay, come on. The robots are coming. All in all, though, Dassey the band. Go search up DACEY. Incredible band. They just released a song called Nobody Else. That's the record. Such an incredible record. And then also search up Cody Lawless. He just dropped a good record too. Uncle Strut. UNCLE. You know how to spell Uncle? Strut, STRUT. Search them up. Let them know Trevor and Kyle sent you for 0% off your next purchase. Trevor, second best dad in the world.
Thanks,
say what you got to say. Sign us out. Oh, I think Trevor's lagging over there. I think Trevor got emotional when NGK said he's the second best dad in the world and cried over his keyboard. I think that's what happened there. Okay, well, I think we got to sign out there. One love, hit the like button. I'm not going to read that comment from Padawan Jesus, okay? Come on, we're not going to do that. But again, hit the like button. Go Canucks, go. Enjoy the game. Have hope. And believe in Aatu Räty, okay? It is what it is. Thanks for watching Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.